They said love could ruin a man, that it could tear a family apart, destroy a legacy, break generations of honor. But what if love is the only thing that can save him? A mother sits alone, trembling over a phone call that might change everything. Across the ocean, her son, James, fights for the woman he loves, a single mother society calls unworthy, and a child who already calls him dad. Between them stands a father, cold, proud, and unyielding, believing that family honor matters more than a son's happiness. This is not just a story about love. It's about the war between pride and compassion, and the moment one woman decides to fight the very tradition she once obeyed. Stay till the end. And if this story stirs something in your heart, don't forget to subscribe and follow the journey of James and Tu Diep. Afternoon sunlight filters through the old coffee shop's window, painting soft gold across the wooden tables. The place smells of roasted beans and old stories. At a corner table, James's mother sits alone, fingers trembling around a phone. Her voice, low but urgent, breaks the quiet hum. "Hello, it's me. You haven't arrived yet? Are you still at the old coffee shop?" Her husband's calm voice travels through the receiver, distant yet heavy. "I'm still handling things at the office. I'll fly later this week." "Why the rush?" She exhales sharply. "Rush? You fired our son, that's why." "James called me. He sounded shattered. You let him go from his own company because he loves someone?" The silence stretches. A faint clink of porcelain echoes as she sets her cup down. Across the ocean, under the sweltering Vietnamese sun, James stands on a half-finished construction site. Dust swirls around him as workers hammer and shout. He wipes the sweat from his forehead, his phone buzzing with unread messages from his mother. He glances at it, hesitant, then pockets it again. His eyes are weary, but determined. Back at the cafe, his mother's voice shakes, rising in both fear and anger. "He's your son, not your employee. You can't just erase him from your life because of some outdated rule." Her husband's voice remains steady. "It's not about rules. It's about respect. He's fallen for a divorced woman with another child. What will people say? Our family's reputation will be ruined." She presses a hand to her chest, as if holding her heart in place. "Reputation? You call it that? I call it cruelty." In Vietnam, James pauses as his phone rings again, his mother's name flashing. He hesitates, then answers, voice hoarse. "Mom." "James, where are you?" "At the site. I'm fine," he says, though his tone betrays exhaustion. Behind him, the sound of saws and construction fills the air. "Your father and I just talked," she says softly. "He still won't listen." James laughs bitterly. He never does. To him, love's a weakness. "But Mom, I can't give up on Diep, not after everything she's been through." The camera would linger on his face, a mix of defiance and quiet pain, as he looks toward the small shop across the street where Tu Diep and little Nai are waiting. Inside, Nai giggles, holding a paper flower she made for him. Deep smiles, but her eyes betray worry. Back in the cafe, James's mother's voice rises again on the call with her husband. "You talk about honor, but where's your heart? You're willing to lose your son just to keep your pride?" He exhales, the kind of sigh that ends conversations. "You've always been too emotional. That woman, she's using him. It's not real love." Her voice trembles. "Don't say that. You don't even know her." "I don't need to. A single mother with another man's child. How can that be right for our family?" Her eyes glisten, but she doesn't break. You think status makes a person worthy of love? You're wrong. James has finally found peace, and you're tearing it away. Across the ocean, James kneels beside Nye, fixing the ribbon on her handmade flower. She beams. Uncle James, do you like it? He smiles faintly. I do, very much. But when he looks up and catches Diep's worried gaze, his smile falters. The sound of his father's disapproval echoes in his mind. Cold, cutting, inescapable. Back in the cafe, James's mother's voice softens. Do you remember when he was a boy? He used to follow you everywhere, begging to help with your work. All he ever wanted was your approval. And now you punish him for loving someone who makes him happy. Her husband remains silent. She continues, her tone breaking. You're not protecting him. You're destroying him. For the first time, his voice wavers slightly. I'm doing what's necessary. Her eyes well with tears. Necessary for what? For whom? The silence on the line feels heavier than any argument. Around her, the cafe grows dim as the afternoon light fades. Her reflection in the window looks older, lonelier. She whispers, you can't control who our children love. You can only hope they find someone who treats them kindly. And James has found that. Her husband doesn't answer. The line hums with unspoken tension. Across the ocean, James's phone buzzes again. Another message from his mother. Be strong, my son. Don't let pride break you. He stares at the words for a long moment. Then he slips his phone into his pocket, takes Nye's hand, and helps Diep carry groceries into the shop. As they disappear inside, the setting sun casts long shadows across the street, painting everything in amber and dust. Back in the cafe, James's mother sits alone, the phone still warm in her hand. Her coffee has gone cold. She closes her eyes and whispers to herself, please, let him hold on to love. Outside, the sky deepens into dusk. The reflection of the cafe window shows her silhouette fading into the darkness. A woman torn between two worlds, praying that her son's heart will survive what family pride could not. The city of Da Nang glows under a velvet sky. Motorbikes buzz through narrow streets, neon lights reflecting on rain-slicked roads. Inside a small rented apartment above Tu Diep's flower shop, James stands by the window, phone pressed to his ear, staring at the night beyond. On the other side of the world, his mother sits in the dim glow of a bedside lamp, exhaustion lining her face. She's still in the same clothes she wore to the cafe, the untouched dinner growing cold beside her. The phone rings once, twice, before her husband answers. His tone is low, cautious. It's late. Her voice is steady, though her hands tremble. I know, but there's something I need to say before we lose our son for good. He exhales, already weary. We've said enough. No, she says firmly. You've decided enough. I haven't spoken my heart yet. Across the ocean, James looks down at Tu Diep. She's tucking little Nye into bed. The girl curls up, clutching the paper flower he fixed earlier. Uncle James will still be here tomorrow, right? She murmurs sleepily. James hesitates, then smiles softly. Always. But when Diep turns to him, her eyes are clouded with worry. Your family, it's getting worse, isn't it? He doesn't answer. His silence says everything. Back in her quiet bedroom, James's mother takes a shaky breath. You know, when I married you, I thought honor and love could live side by side. But tonight, I realize maybe they never could. Her husband says nothing, just the faint sound of papers rustling again. She presses on, voice breaking slightly. Do you think the world will really remember our name 100 years from now? All this pride you're guarding, will it comfort you when your son is gone? Her husband's voice sharpens. Don't exaggerate. He's just angry. He'll come around. She shakes her head, eyes wet. You don't see it, do you? You've built walls so high around our family that even love can't climb them. The line falls silent. She looks at the photo on her nightstand. James as a child, holding his father's hand, grinning with trust. He used to look up to you like a hero, she whispers. Now he looks at you like a stranger. Meanwhile, in Vietnam, James steps outside to the small balcony. The warm air hums with distant karaoke, the smell of night jasmine rising from below. Diep joins him quietly, wrapping a shawl around her shoulders. Maybe you should go back, she says softly. Talk to him face to face. He's still your father. James laughs quietly, but his eyes glisten. He doesn't see me anymore. He sees the son he wanted, not the man I've become. She reaches out, touching his hand. Then let's show him who you really are. Not by fighting him, but by living. He turns to her, gaze heavy. And if I lose everything? She smiles faintly. Then we'll rebuild from love. Back home, his mother listens to the ticking clock, each second heavier than the last. I begged you once to listen, she says into the phone. This time, I'm not begging. I'm telling you. Tomorrow, I'm flying to Vietnam. Her husband's breath catches. You're what? I'm going to see James and meet the woman you refuse to know. You're out of your mind. No, she replies calmly. For once, I'm in my right mind. I've spent years choosing your pride over my heart. I won't do it anymore. He tries to argue, but she cuts him off. You think you're saving the family name? Fine. Keep it, but I'm saving our son. Across the world, James stands on the balcony, unaware of her decision, looking out at the sleeping city. In his chest, the ache of disappointment lingers, but so does hope. The scene cuts between them, his mother booking a flight online, hands shaking but resolute. His father alone in the study, staring at the silent phone, guilt flickering behind his stubborn eyes. Diep whispering a prayer over Nye's sleeping form. James staring at the stars, whispering, please, let this not break her. Hours later, the mother finishes packing. She sits on the edge of the bed, exhausted, but lighter than she's felt in years. She looks at the framed family photo on the wall and whispers, he'll understand one day. Her husband's text arrives a minute later. Don't do this. She smiles sadly and replies, I already did. In Vietnam, dawn creeps over the horizon. James is still awake, sitting on the balcony steps. The first rays of sunlight touch the city's rooftops. His phone buzzes. A new message. From Mom. I'm coming to you. He stares at the words, disbelief turning to emotion. His throat tightens. For a long moment, he just breathes. Then he looks toward the small shop window, where Diep and Nye are still asleep, and whispers, she's coming. He finally smiles. Small, tired, but real. Back in her airplane seat, high above the clouds, James's mother closes her eyes. Below her, 2 continents drift apart, but her heart finally feels whole. In the soft cabin light, she whispers her final thought to the night sky. May love be stronger than pride. The plane hums steadily, carrying her toward the sunrise, toward the sun she refuses to lose. When love collides with pride, hearts are the first to break. In a quiet coffee shop, James's mother pleads over the phone, begging her proud husband to forgive their son. Fired from the family company for loving Tu Diep, a single mother raising her little girl Nee. Across the ocean in Vietnam, James works tirelessly, torn between love and the crushing weight of his father's rejection. As the night deepens, a mother's fear turns into resolve. She realizes that silence only protects pride, not family. Defying her husband's command, she decides to fly to Vietnam, to stand beside her son and the woman he loves. Because sometimes, saving family means breaking tradition. And sometimes, the greatest courage is choosing love when everyone else calls it a mistake.